What's up, y'all? You know what time it is? It's about to be that time.
Oh, snap! The organizers of the failed Fire Festival are feeling the heat.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
This is Life Alert. Are you okay?
Savage.
And we're back. One Piece 1013 is out. Go check it out. We're going to talk about that today. Oh, hold on. Before we get started.
Savage.
There goes Luffy, living up to the L in his name.
Savage.
Alright, we talked about Luffy falling off of Onigashima all the way back in One Piece 997. Yeah, the first chapter that Onigashima went up into the sky. Shout out to my member Chin, who reminded me that was... when we first started talking about this. I mentioned this in the stream, but I'm hoping that we don't get a, Dressrosa, Skypiea situation where Luffy gets knocked off, and then, we get 10, 15, 20 chapters of him trying to make his way back up there to finish the fight with Kaido. But it could happen.
Another one.
Now, why would we expect this? Because we've seen it before. Oda loves to have Luffy fall from a great height and then work his way back up for the final battle. All right, we saw it in Alabasta to a certain degree when he got thrown off of the palace for Water Luffy. We saw it in Skypiea for the Arc Maxim. And wrapped, encased Luffy's arm in gold, kicked him off, and then he had to ride the waver up Giant Jack with Nami to get back and finish a Nell. Dressrosa, it was no different. He got knocked up from the flower fields, and he had to work his way back up to get the key for Law. All of this, 10 to 20 chapters of, letting everything else in the story and the arc breathe, keeping Luffy out of the main action so that everything else can happen. All right, so that's what's happening here. Okay, but I'm willing to argue that this is more of an Alabasta situation than a Skypiea or Dressrosa situation. Let's get into it and figure out why, right? Where do we go from here?
This is how Fire Festival handles luggage. Just drop it out of a shipping container at night.
All right, so this was an interesting development, not something, entirely unexpected. Obviously, we talked about this. We've been waiting for Luffy to fall off of Onigashima. The question here is he going to actually fall into water? Are they above Wano at some point where he can land as well? No matter what, we're getting some sort of Snake Way Dragon Ball Z situation where, Luffy's going to have to make his way back to Onigashima while everything else is breathing. Okay, I saw some things, in the comments from the stream and everything that people think that Momonosuke is going to save him because he can hear the voice of all things. Maybe, but not right away, right? My favorite thing that was brought up in the stream is the reminder that the Polar Tang, Law's submarine, is in pursuit of Onigashima, right? So we know that Jean Bart and the rest of Law's crew, with the exception of Beppo, Shachi, and Penguin, who are on Onigashima, but Jean Bart and the rest of his, unnamed fodder marines that follow him, are, in the submarine. So it's possible that Luffy could be saved by them. There's a ton of different scenarios, right? But the point here is that I'm willing to expect, unless we get some sort of flashback between, it giving us context to Luffy and Kaido's fight, right? That we're not going to see Luffy for a bit. Similar to when in Alabasta, Crocodile defeated him, right? Encased him in sand. And then we had 10 or so chapters of everybody, getting their fights in. That's when all of the Straw Hats fought against Baroque Works. They finished all of their fights. And then it wasn't until after they finished all of their fights that Luffy came in, on Pell, saving Vivi and all of that, and then started Water Luffy. So I think that that's a situation that we're going to have here. We as a reader are going to not know what happened to Luffy. We as a reader are basically echoing Kaido's sentiments. That since we didn't see what happened, we're going to have faith that Luffy can continue to win. What Kaido said at the end of the chapter is us. Yeah, we see him falling off of Onigashima, but we don't know what technique Kaido used. If we saw that, maybe we'd be like, oh man, I don't know if Luffy can do this. Right? So our will as a reader isn't broken. I mean, I can't speak for anyone. I know that mine isn't. Because, like we said earlier, rubber always bounces back. And that's the point. Luffy mentioned that in his fight between him and Moria, I believe. He may have said it a couple of times, but that's the whole point of rubber, right? It bounces back. I'd love to see some situation where Luffy, figures out his awakening, and is able to sort of turn, maybe a portion of Wano into like a bouncy castle or something, and like changes the property of the ground into some sort of a slingshot that'll rocket him out toward the island. I think that would be something cool. There's a bunch of different ways that Luffy can get back to the island, but the point here is that Oda is removing him from the story so that we can now have the drama and everything else happen during the raid, right? Does this mean that the raid is going to fail? Potentially. This is looking pretty good for a 5-act structure right now. Now, we've talked about 1014 being the end of the act for a couple of chapters now, because volume 100 will end with either 1013 or 1014, more likely 1014. So I'm expecting some other cliffhanger next week, which will be a lot of fun. But I'm also expecting sort of a vignette chapter next week, similar to what we got in, like, I think it was 998 or 999, when we got little glimpses of everybody's fights, because Oda wanted to reach a certain point by 1000. I think we're going to get that again. So we might get updates on just about everybody's fight not next week because we're on break, but in 2 weeks' time. Just in time for some sort of crazy cliffhanger for the end of the volume. And, yeah. Now, one thing I want everybody to keep in mind. Shanks showed up to Marineford after beating Kaido, essentially. The moment that Luffy actually beats Kaido, he's ready to meet Shanks. He is not ready to meet Shanks yet. My man needs to split the skies. The more this fight rages on, the more I get Alabasta vibes. All right, keep talking about it. I've said that I've always gotten Thriller Bark vibes from this arc, and I still do, especially with Big Mom being around and all of that Moria and Kuma effect. But CP0 could also be that Kuma. We'll see, how things turn out. But changing gears to the Big Mom and Nami stuff, leave it to Oda to take a character like Zeus and within one chapter dramatically change how most of us feel about the character. Oda's done this plenty of times. I got major I Want to Live and Usopp's apology vibes, during the panel where Zeus was, pleading to Nami to sort of take him back and all of that. Yeah, I felt bad for Zeus. And, F's in the chat, RIP to our guy. I can see the anime definitely going off with that, and playing Mother C and just letting the emotions run high. Now, one of my members, Zoe, pointed out that the Climattact was still in Hera's mouth while Zeus was dying. So a lot of people believe that Nami was able to suck Zeus back into the Climattact.
There's got to be a better way to say that.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that would be interesting. I still want Nami to have Zeus as a power-up and all of that. But this might be it for Zeus. This might be it. But, you know, I don't feel as strongly about Zeus dying here as I do about, like, say, Ashura Doji being dead. You know, like, I feel like Ashura Doji is definitely dead. Zeus, I don't know. But Ulti, good God. Jeez. She got hit with the Akainu donut effect, right? I really hope that there's a meme out there of, like, you know, Ulti's face on Ace and, you know, Big Mom's face on Akainu. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it should be there. Ulti's definitely not having children, but she should be dead. I mean, that thing went straight through her, and it does not look like a thin beam. You know, like, I mean, we're talking, Ulti literally got special beam cannoned, all right? Like, I'm talking first arc Dragon Ball Z Raditz Goku special beam cannoned. Ulti should be dead. If she's not, Oda, stop playing. Stop playing. Like, Ulti, and especially after last week, she deserves to be dead and in the trash. And Big Mom is, you know, still my favorite Yako, but now you're going after Tama too. You know, you're trying to protect her, but now you know that she's aligned with the Straw Hats, so it's just like, all right, well, you know, I'm going after everybody now. There's no loyalty. There was a lot of curves going on in this chapter, right? Zeus shows up. Big Mom curves him.
Savage.
Zeus runs over to Nami.
Savage.
Big curve, right? Then Prometheus goes over to Hera. You know. My man got curved.
Savage.
There's, of course, this curve as well. Oda can't stop himself. The Zeus sacrifice moment was great, and then Kid showing up, finally doing something of the most noteworthy thing in my mind that Kid's ever done. So I'm excited for that. You know, the chapter, the title of the chapter, Anarchy and the BM, which people have pointed out is a reference to the Sex Pistols song Anarchy in the UK. There's a lot about Kid, you know, and his, like, punk aesthetic that is very, like, British. So I think that that's Oda's way of, like, really basically saying that we are getting, like, a formal Kid versus Big Mom here. I don't see Kid winning. I don't see it. Big Mom's going to continue to be a problem, you know, all the way to Elbaf, I feel. But I think that we'll see some pretty good feats from Kid. But, you know, the dramatic effect here is that, you know, he should lose because he needs to get stronger. He needs to get better. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oda's going to do what he wants. And that's the beauty of One Piece to begin with. But yeah, I'm standing by that 10:14 is possibly the end of the act. If it's not, then I think Yamato is going to make it up top, and it's going to be the start of the flashback. And then the act will probably end after the flashback. Because we know that Yamato wants to get to the roof. Yamato will get up there, find out that Luffy's been thrown off. Yamato and Kaido, a little skirmish, lead into the flashback. Yeah, there's so many possibilities now, but you know, we need to see how everybody else's fights are going, and with Luffy out of the picture, this is prime time for all of that. Yeah. So either way, this is exciting. I got a request in the stream for this chapter to, since we have another break, we're gonna do our break week stream. It's either gonna be on Friday or Saturday. I'll let everybody know in a community post, and this one is gonna be on what do you want to see before the series ends? You know, what do you feel still needs to happen, right? So, bring your own thoughts, bring your own list into the chat. We'll talk about everything. I'll have mine. I'm going to try and get specific. Like, these are things that I want to see for this character, everybody can come with the generic, like, yeah, I want to see what the One Piece is. Like, yeah, we all do. Will of D, blah, blah, blah. But, specific characters, even, the smallest character and all of that. Like, let's talk about different things that need to happen, different loose ends that need to be tied up, right? Last week, I told everybody the channel is now open to be joined. When we opened that for the 10-12 stream, we got 16 members. Over the course of the past weekend during the 10-13 stream, we more than doubled that. We now have 35 members, which is crazy. Thank you. I want to shout out all of the new members, the ones that joined the stream, the ones that joined prior to the stream. My guy Gustavo Bobato, he's been rocking with the channel since I came back to YouTube, so thanks to him. Shocky, Atlas K, Patrick Fowler, Keyboard Cat, Chrissy, my girl, she joined the channel. She wanted the emojis too. Amrit Singh, Birkules, the Zori, Chin Wang, my guy Morange92, Najib Mukim, Doc, Yamil Diaz, Viswa, Hirak H, Phased, Caleb One Piece, Evo Warrior 5, my guy, and Crow. Yeah, lots of new members, and I'm very appreciative. It's a lot of fun having the emojis now. I'm looking forward to the next stream. I'm looking forward to 10-14. I'm really looking forward to being the end of the act. Let's wrap things up, Oda. Let's wrap things up. I want to take a second to shout out Hassem Luffy, who sent me a drawing of me that he made with all of this, it's they were calling it Randy the Phoenix in the Discord, because it's all of the Marco flames and, accoutrements there. Love the hair here, very flattered. Thank you very much. I'm excited for the stream this week. I'm very excited for 10-14, looking forward to it. This is all great. Let it be the end of the act. Okay, I need to know what's going on with the Revolutionary Army. Need to know what's going on with the Blackbeard Pirates. Are they coming to Wano? How is Luffy going to get out of this? I mean, there's a lot of ways. Like, is Momo going to save him? Maybe. Is he going to ride Momo into the final battle? Potentially. Will this be the catalyst for everything to fall apart? And then they'll have to leave and regroup like I've always wanted. Train for a little bit and come back. Does Kaido go and get the ancient weapons? Possibly. Who knows? Is Onigashima really going to land on Wano? Things are looking a little, sketchy right now. Is Luffy going to land on the Polar Tang? Is he going to land on the Big Mom pirate ship? Is he going to land in the middle of Wano next to a weapons factory and find the Revolutionary Army there destroying it? Because that's a possibility as well. And then we'll get context in a act break that they were coming there, no matter what. There are so many elements, so many ways for this to go, but the main thing is that we're going to be able to focus on the Straw Hats without their captain. Just as they did in Alabasta, just as they did in Thriller Bark. Hockey blooms under pressure. Will we get some new hockey? Who knows? Either way, I'm excited. So thanks for rocking with me as always, everybody, and I will see you soon. Later.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.